Before I get into the video, I just gotta say that if you guys are a fan of One Piece, then make sure you guys go ahead and check out my One Piece channel. I do live reaction to the chapters over there weekly, and I do reaction to some of the episode clips. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that channel out if you guys do enjoy One Piece. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Underrated Mage, and today I'm gonna be doing a video discussing Fairy Tail 2018 news. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what I'm gonna name this video because I've been hearing a lot of things about this new Fairy Tail article that one of my subscribers then leaked me, and basically this is the article from the New York Comic Con basically event. And the reason why I decided, you know what, why not go ahead and read this, because I heard that there was a lot of spooky news in this article, and there's a lot of video type I know I've been gone for YouTube for a week and I can't even speak right. But no, on a serious note, basically these guys, somebody was telling me, yo, you gotta do a reaction to this news. So this is kind of like a reaction. As you guys can see, I'm gonna have the questions on the screen for you guys so you guys can see it too. But I decided, you know what, why not go ahead and give this video a little, you know, why not give it a little bit of peek and see if it's really all the hype that I've been hearing about. So yeah, without further ado, let's go and get into the video. Now, this stuff right here, like the dialogue that isn't bolded, for you guys that don't know, the dialogue right here that's bolded, this is basically the question, and the stuff underneath it is basically the answer. So without further ado, let's go and get into it. There were a lot of questions, so this video should be litty. Now, the first thing says, how did you feel the first day you didn't have to work on Fairy Tail? And he says, I was actually kind of sad and lonely. I started doodling, which is understandable. Listen, he's been doing this for about what, 15, you know, a couple, maybe a decade. No, why'd I say 15? I'm bugging, I'm tripping. Listen, I'm tripping. It wasn't 15, but he basically was doing this for a decade, and yeah, I can basically see him. That's like quitting your job, basically. That's basically like going to work for about 10 years and quitting your job, and then, or not quitting, but retiring, and then finally waking up. You're gonna be like, what should I do? So yeah, that's kind of understandable. Now, somebody said Fairy Tail is relatively a new compared to the other classic manga and anime series, but it's already considered a classic among fans. How do you feel? Wait, is that it? Does he really just say? He just says, I'm really glad to hear that. So I'm guessing that hero Mashima, I think that when he was writing Fairy Tail, he wasn't writing it as, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't writing it to basically become a classic, you know what I'm saying. I think he was doing, well, I'm pretty sure now, if you guys couldn't tell from the writing, I'm 100% sure that Hiro Mashima, he was doing Fairy Tail for fun. You know, he wanted to have fun with Fairy Tail. I don't think he was writing Fairy Tail to try to make it the greatest manga ever, or to have it in the discussion for one of the best written manga. So I'm pretty sure when people call his series a classic, I'm pretty sure that he probably looks at it like, oh, cool. Like, he probably looks at it like, cool, you know what I'm saying. I don't think he treats Fairy Tail like how Ichiro Oda, the author of One Piece, does with One Piece. I don't think he writes it, you know, for it to be a masterpiece. I just think he wants to have a fun series. So yeah, that's why he gave that type of answer. Now, the next question says, both Rave Master and Fairy Tail are fantasy works. Have you ever considered doing something outside the fantasy genre? And he says, I personally just really love fantasy works in general, so if I do a new series, I would try to make it fantasy again. Rave Master was about friends saving the world, but Fairy Tail is about closer knit relationships, so if I do another fantasy story, I would like to have a different approach. Now, boom, boom, boom. Look, yeah! If you guys did though, that's basically a scream of me letting out my excitement. Yeah! But yo, basically this is confirming that there's gonna be a new, oh my god, this is gonna be a new series in the works. Listen, I know I sound like a broken record, but the reason why I sound like a broken record is because people are constantly doubting me. They're always saying stuff like, oh, this series ain't, there's not gonna be a new series, stop making these new series videos, you're just lying to everybody. Like, no, I'm telling you guys, I'm getting you guys prepared. It's basically like, how should I say this? It's basically like Armageddon, you know what I'm saying? It's like if the world is about to go into war, I'm the guy that's letting you guys know, you know what, go ahead and get your rations, start stacking up. Like, I'm telling you guys, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. So when I see people say stuff like, stop making these next generation blah blah, listen, it's going to happen. Relax. So yeah, this basically shows you that if he does do another story, it's going to be fantasy. It's going to be another fantasy story. but he's going to take a different approach to it. So yeah, I'm interested no matter what. You guys already know, whatever Hiro Mashima does, I'm gonna be reviewing it on this channel. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't even gotta worry about that. You know, I will be covering all of Hiro Mashima works. He could write a newspaper magazine, I'll still cover it. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. And if you guys don't know, this is Rave Master, his first series that he ever did. All right, I don't know every day, but his biggest series. Have you ever considered revisiting Rave Master? That's a good question. At the autograph sessions, I've been experiencing a lot of people actually requesting characters from Rave Master, but I realized that I forgot to draw a lot of characters for a series, so it might be hard to revisit. Now, that's understandable, you know what I'm saying? Rave Master, from what I heard, now I only read a little bit of Rave Master. I didn't necessarily finish the whole series. So yeah, that's my whole take on Rave Master. Rave Master was cool, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I didn't finish it. I might go back and reread it just because it is Hiro Mashima, and I heard that there's a lot of similarities between Rave Master and Fairy Tail, so I might go ahead and read that. But basically, he's basically saying that he won't go back to Rave Master, or he might not go back to Rave Master because he hasn't drawn the characters so long, which is understandable because he's been working on Fairy Tail, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that he's been drawing Rave Master characters on the side, you know what I'm saying? He's just been working on Fairy Tail. So as far as him revisiting Rave Master, that's looking slow, you know, it might not happen. Now the next question says, many comic book artists have said that they know the last page of the series before they start. Was that the case for Fairy Tail? And I believe, yeah, so this is the question when he says, or he answers, says, I honestly didn't have any idea of what the last story, what the last scene of the story was going to be like in my mind when I started the series. The fact that I didn't know what was going to happen next was actually the best part of working on the series. For example, when there's a cliffhanger where the characters are really type spot, the fans wonder what is going to happen next. Well, that's actually my question. I have to think about it. So basically, Hiro Mashima was saying, I do not plan any of this stuff out. He's basically saying this is all on a whim, you know what I'm saying? He basically doesn't really plan things out for Fairy Tail, and I'm pretty sure that there was a huge, like, you know, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure there's a huge, you know, when this news first got revealed, I'm pretty sure that they twisted Hiro Mashima's words, because if you guys don't know, I did a video a while ago talking about the ending of Fairy Tail, and I was basically kind of slandering Hiro Mashima because I was saying stuff like, oh, he wasn't, you know, he didn't necessarily have the series planned out. But I think they might have, low-key, I think they might have twisted around his words, because if this is what people were referring to when they said that he didn't plan out his ending, then this isn't as bad as it makes it sound. Like, he was basically saying that whenever the fans would wonder, like, the cliffhangers that he would go on next, like, people made it seem like that he just straight up didn't care about Fairy Tail. So listen, if this is the little piece of the interview that they took out and twisted his words from, my bad, Hiro Mashima. I apologize to you personally. The next question says, you have traditionally used more Western influence on your works. What kind of Western works do you draw inspiration from? About 30 years, and he answers, and about 30 years ago in Japan, there was a huge boom of RPG fantasy games, so there's where I get my inspiration from. For example, Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Dragon Quest is written by Akira Toriyama, or not written, but it's a game where the characters are illustrated by Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama, he's basically the author of Dragon Ball Z, the mangaka. So yeah, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to see that stuff. And the next one said, in the world of Fairy Tail, are the magic powers something that you inherit or something that you can obtain from hard work enough? And he basically says, in the world of Fairy Tail, if anyone wants to learn new magic, they train themselves hard enough, they should be able to. There are a lot of characters who are training themselves to learn a lot of different magic. However, in the guild of Fairy Tail, everybody's collaborating, working together, so most of these characters work on their own talent to refine them so they have more to help others. So basically he's saying that you can work, you know what I'm saying, you can work to obtain new magic. And listen, the fact that he's answering a Fairy Tail related question just shows you that Fairy Tail is not done. Fairy Tail is far from done. The fact that he still is explaining the Fairy Tail world even long after it being finished shows you that he's going to revisit it. So yeah, that was basically some cool insight about about how magic works with Fairy Tail. And I see this question involves Zeref, so I'm already hyped. He says, I find Zeref very interesting. He isn't your typical bad guy, but he's sort of a tragic figure. Why did you make him like that? And he basically says, I didn't want a typical bad guy. I kind of combined all the elements I had been cultivating and inserted edit into this character. He became a really highly complex character. Now, if you guys don't know, Zeref is my favorite character, but he kind of contradicts himself a little bit here, because he says he didn't want your typical bad, unless he's talking about Zara specifically. I believe he's talking about Zara specifically when he's talking about villains, but I think that he didn't want your typical bad guy because he already had Acnologia for that. So yeah, that's the reason why he didn't make Zara a typical bad guy. But if you guys didn't know, Zareth is my favorite character. I love him, everything about him. So shout out to Zareth in that question. Now, the next question said, everybody likes the female characters in Fairy Tail. They seem to be both strong and sexy at the same time and self-confident. How'd you go about making such balanced female characters? Oh, he says, oh, okay, Hiromash. Oh, okay. So any of the females watching this, he's basically, Hiromash gave you a blueprint of what type of woman he likes. So if you're a female and you're watching this, shoot your shot. But he basically says, this is actually what I kind of like in females. This is my personal taste, so I insert it into characters. It's kind of my wish. Listen, all you females out there that be calling Mashima senpai, you know, all that stuff, shoot your shot. He basically gave you a layout of what type of girls he likes. He says, is there a particular character you wish you had more time to develop? Now, this is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see this. Yes! Yes. I just see that. I just saw Acnologia. I literally just saw Acnologia. Yes. Develop him. Develop Acnologia to the max. He says one of the characters that I think of is Acnologia. In my mind, I had a deeper setting for this character, but the story is from the main character's point of view, so I couldn't really do that. That's a lie. You can still. Let's go. I just read the final. You guys can't see my face, but I'm going crazy. He says I may have some time to explore the act. Oh my, so let's go. Now, if you guys don't know, Acnologia is my second favorite character in the series, and you guys know that I was kind of disappointed when it came to the ending of the Fairy Tail series, because Acnologia basically got stomped and we didn't get to see the past. But yeah, yo, I'm like, oh my god, yo, I'm actually hype. I'm actually hype. We're about to get, oh my god, yo, we're about to actually get a spin-off for Acnologia. Oh my god, yo, that's dope. That's probably the best news that oh my god. Yo, thank you to everybody who's been leaking this article. This article is litty again. I love this article. Next question says, in terms of Fairy Tail designs, Fairy Tail is unique when it comes to design. A lot of characters change their outfits throughout the series. How do you go about changing their clothes? Every time I make a costume change, there's really something I didn't like about the character design, so I refresh them. But sometimes I think the previous character design was better, so I go back and forth. Understandable. So he basically switches his character design a lot. Understandable. That's pretty dope. That's a cool insight. What Fairy Tail characters do you miss the most? And he says Brandish. I wish I could have. Oh, that's actually, well, anime onlys. This is kind of a sport. Well, I'm not even going to get into her character, but basically he's saying that Brandish is the character that he's going to miss the most. That's crazy. You know, Brandish was a side character, and she came in the last arc. I thought he would say somebody like Lucy or Natsu or Happy, a main character, but I'm guessing he got, you know, I don't know. That's actually weird. That's a picture of Brand. Oh my god, this video's probably gonna get come on, this video is probably going to get demonetized because of that. But no, on a serious note, he said in the American comic book industry, it's common for multiple people to work on the same comic. In Japan, one person entirely works on the whole thing. In America, the creators may have died and some people are still writing the series. What are your thoughts on the process? Whew, that's a long one. And he said one of the great things about American comics is that they have so many people work on it. It turns to movies and different type of comic books or media that carry over overseas. In terms of manga, it's usually one person that thinks of the story, develop it and center it into one storyline. So if there's the opportunity to branch off, that's actually a good thing. In terms of Fairy Tail, a lot of people love the world view of Fairy Tail, so it's actually possible to expand the story into a spin-off series. Listen, I'm always right. Stop doubting me. Please stop doubting me. Stop it. Just stop doubting me. Stop doubting me. Please stop doubting me. He basically said that there's a possibility for Fairy Tail to have a spin-off series. Oh my, this article just gave me 50 million video ideas. Oh, shut up. This is the greatest article I've ever read in my life. I'll be honest, this is better than any book that I ever read throughout high school, anything. I'm gonna talk more about that later. This is just dope. And the next question said, in American spin-offs, they would usually worry a lot about continuity. Do you worry about that over the 11 years that you worked on Fairy Tail? I was thinking about it, and he responded, I was thinking about that a bit, but it was the highest priority. It is more important to make. Oh, I'm also Floyd Mayweather stuff right now. He said, it's more important to me to make this story exciting and really portray the emotion of each character. So if the fans Floyd Mayweather called me up. I'm reading just like he said, so if the fans find some flaws in the continuity, I'm really excited to know that people are, okay, so this is actually interesting because Hiro Mashima is basically saying he doesn't really care about, hold on, let me look up, this might be a live reaction to what continuity means, because if continuity means what I think it means, I think continuity means canon. Hold on, I'm actually looking it up. I don't want to slow it down. So yeah, let me look up what the word continuity means right now. Yes, you guys, I don't want to hear any roast. Oh, this guy doesn't know his words. This guy didn't graduate. No. They never taught us that in high school. So yeah, let me see what continuity means. Yeah, so like I thought it meant like, basically it's continuity means no plot holes. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually saying that he wasn't really writing he was just making Fairy Tail for a fun series. So that's the reason why there's a lot of like flaws and stuff in it, which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't necessarily focused on the story. He just wanted to have fun with the series. He wanted to, now, oh my god, this interview has, it's been great, because now this has made me look at Fairy Tail in a whole different aspect. Basically, this shows you that you shouldn't really take Fairy Tail that seriously. If the own author is saying that he didn't really care for the continuity, why should you? So yeah, the next question says, sometimes the Fairy Tail characters die, but they always come back. Why do they do this? Oh, this is good. This has to do with the fact that in Rave Master, a lot of characters actually did die and it turned out to be a sad story. When you are working on a manga and a magazine, it is up to the reader's polls and feedbacks whether you can actually stay. Oh, whoa. This is actually some big news. It's up to the reader's polls and feedbacks whether you can actually stay in the magazine. To be quite honest, the chapters that have the deaths of a really important characters got a lot of reaction. Know this, I want to make sure that people didn't die in my series. So he's basically saying that the readers and basically whoever read it actually decided I'm so tongue twisted right now because I'm appalled. It's basically saying that the readers, they basically decide whether you get to stay in the magazine, and deaths is very controversial. So that's actually an interesting insight when it comes to why he didn't necessarily kill off a lot of people. Listen, so for everybody saying, why does a Fairy Tail kill people, blah blah blah. Listen, Hiro Mashima was trying to chase his check. He didn't want to jeopardize his career. Smart businessman. He says, you post a lot of drawings on social media. Are the fans supposed to take that canonical, or is it just something you do for fun? This is gonna be a big news too. I want to see what he says about this. Those pictures that I draw on social media are just my doodles that have nothing to do with the main plot of the story. Of course, I want people to remember the characters, but it's also fun for me to draw. I have the oh my god, I have the next set. Let me hide. Look at that. I have the next set of characters in mind, but I won't be able to post on social media, so that's why I did do doodles on social media. So you can take this as two ways. Either one, Hiro Mashima already has the next set of characters. You know what I'm saying? He already has the the reason why I'm so tongue twisted, this is kind of like a raw video. As you guys say, this is basically like a reaction, but basically he's saying that number one, he has a new set of characters. So this is two ways that I'm taking it. When he says new set of characters, that either means A, new set of characters for a new series, or B, new set of characters for new Fairy Tail series. Oh my god, I'm just hype. I am just hype. So yeah, that's dope. That's just dope. Next question. Fairy Tail was serialized in a weekly magazine. What was it that you liked and would have preferred more time to work on other chapters? I've actually worked on, hold on, let me reread that. Fairy Tail was serialized in a weekly magazine. What was it like and would you have preferred to more time to work on chapters? And he says, I've actually worked on weekly and monthly series. I've actually worked on weekly and monthly series at the same time. Yeah, he did that with the spin-offs. As you can imagine, working weekly on a series is very difficult. However, you get the feedback from the fans right away and they say, I want to read the next chapter. It makes me want to respond. Okay, so yeah, he's basically using the fans as, you know, it's basically as inspiration. That's the same thing I do. If I see comments, if I see a lot of comments of people saying I love your videos, and this is with a lot of YouTubers, when the fans, actually I don't really like using the word fans, when the supporters leave comments like I love this, like that's why you guys should never underestimate like the power of a comment. Like just the littlest comment saying stuff like I love your videos, I love this, blah blah blah, that motivates me and a lot of other like YouTubers to actually go through and actually continue working on their stuff. So even though I don't reply to every comment because that would be impossible, you know, this is so, well, it wouldn't be impossible, but basically I will have no life whatsoever. I'll be stuck at my computer 24/7. So yeah, that's one thing. But all the comments of people saying stuff like, yo, I really do enjoy, you know what I'm saying, I love your videos, all that stuff, trust me, that goes a long way. So next time you're in the comment section, drop that comment saying I love your videos and drop a like while you're at it too. So yeah, shout out to all the people who's showing support. Next question says, it's a weekly series at such a fast-paced production. How were you able to take care of yourself by eating and sleeping? he's basically like, of course. He's like, dude, why would I sleep and say will get messed up? But it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but well, it's kind of funny. But I've been seeing stuff like Ichiro Oda, the author of One Piece. I will always see stuff like saying, oh, his health is at risk, he's basically staying up, he's basically getting like 1 hour of sleep. And then you got Hiro Mashima over here just relaxing with his feet up, you know, eating some chicken, just straight up bullying, basically saying, of course it's easy to eat, why would it be hard to me? So that kind of shows you the difference in authors, you know what I'm saying? On one hand, Hiro Mashima is laid back and, you know, he doesn't really care too much about like making Fairy Tail a serious series, so you see that it's not really taking a huge toll on his body. He says, if you could go to a con and cosplay, who would you dress up as? I would really want to try, and I'm into Game of Thrones, so I'll probably do one of those characters. Shout out to Game of Thrones. I haven't watched it, I heard nothing but good things about it. I may check it out soon. If you're in the Fairy Tail world with 3 people, who would it be? Who would be on your team? Lucy, Urza, Juvia, which is probably because they're all like females, you know what I'm saying? He probably, you know, Hiro Mashima, listen, what's understood ain't gotta be explained. You guys probably know what Hiro Mashima was thinking. A lot of shonen characters seem to have the same characteristics. They are like rebellious but skilled at the same time. What makes Natsu unique? And Hiro Mashima replies, his pink hair and the fact that he gets motion sickness. That response right there just straight up like confirmed, nail in the coffin, that Fairy Tail is a fun series. If somebody asks you why is this character unique, you know, sometimes they'll, like an author would usually say, oh, you know, his backstory, you know, his character development, blah blah blah, but he just straight up says his pink hair. Like, dude, where do you see pink hair? Like, he basically just says that, and the fact that he gets motion sickness. As you move on to so this I know some of you guys are probably thinking, yo, why does this guy make weird noises? But these are basically noises that I make of excitement, you know what I'm saying? And this question says, as you move on to your new series, what will you carry with you from Fairy Tail? What mistakes will you avoid and things you're trying to make easy with the next series? Okay, so this is him talking about his new series. He basically says, one of the things that I learned and I feel I succeeded with Fairy Tail is develop a lot of characters with unique personalities. That's true. I would like to apply it to my next series. Do you worry about the elements of Fairy Tail bleeding too much into your new series? I honestly don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. My new work reminds people of my previous works in Japan. This kind of a jinx. After your first big hit, your next series is going to be a flop. I personally am not worried about it. I don't think Fairy Tail was a giant success, and this way I feel no pressure on work. Okay, so Hiro Mashima, his mindset is just amazing, you know what I'm saying? This interview has been amazing. Like, now listen, I already knew, or I already felt like that I had like a connection with Hiro Mashima, but now I feel like I have an even bigger connection with Hiro Mashima, you know what I'm saying? So he basically is saying that he feels like that Fairy Tail wasn't a big success, even though it was a big success. Fairy Tail was a huge series, and even Rave Master was a, you know, I don't want to say I don't want to say Rave Master was like a big success, but Rave Master was a success, you know what I'm saying? So he's basically has no pressure at all, like, you know what I'm saying? I like this mindset. I like this mindset a lot. An anime adaptation will add more element to I can't read. It's 6 o'clock too. As the time of recording this, it's 6:24. So yeah, don't listen. Trust me, I graduated. I'm not a dropout. I know how to read. I'm just a little bit tired. You know what I'm saying? I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Relax. An anime adaptation will add more elements to the story. What would you like the most about an anime that is not in your manga? I think the biggest contribution of the anime is the voice actors. That's true. Even on the US side, the voice acting is very similar, and that's the kind of same feeling as Japanese does. I'm actually quite happy with the outcome on it. So yeah, he's basically saying that the anime does add life to the series, which is true. Well, we got another drawing. Where would you get your guild tattoo? Same as Natsu on my arm. I would probably get mine if I had to get one. I would get it on the face. I'm not going for it. I would get it on the cheek. I've always wanted a face tattoo. You know, I might just fuck around and get it on my face. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Whoa. Pause. When he says, when can we expect a new series? The editor-in-chief is hustling me on it, so I can't. Okay. The editor-in-chief is hustling me on it. I can't really say too much about it, but I hope I can start it next year. Boom. A boom, boom. A boom, boom. A boom, boom. A boom, boom. 2018. Basically, that's what, a month away. Alright, obviously he's not going to make it in January, but 2018 is right around the corner. We only got like 2 months left. So yeah, this is going to be hype. This is going to be dope. I cannot wait. He described was how much influence your editor has. And he says, one of the main process that I usually write the first draft of my chapter and I show it to the editor. The editor will give me feedback whether it's good or bad. If the editor says it's not good, I would ask the reason why I could fix it. The creative process is very important. Sometimes we get a conflict when the editor says one thing and I disagree and push it forward and believe in. If I don't succeed, I feel like I should have and let him listen to it, or sometimes I stick. Okay, so he's basically saying that the editor basically, you know, it's kind of like a rough draft. He like supervises over him, you know what I'm saying, and gives me okay, that's understandable. That's what an editor should do. What do you like most about the fairy tale fandom? Oh my, let's see what he says. Everybody's eyes keep shining. I just get happy looking at them. So yeah, it looks like that's, whoa,